Okay, so um, I'm in a lot of pain. So I'm standing out. He comes back. I'm in a lot of pain. He comes back the next day. This was actually 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks after my fall. So um, I'm standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, but then he needs to jack up the car, so I need to stand up. But again, the key is not even turning now. So he picks up the phone, this mechanic picks up the phone and calls someone and says, hey, can you tell me why this is going on? So now I'm stressing because, again, I have someone else under the hood of my car um, that is not familiar with what he needs to do. So I'm starting to feel the pressure of I'm hurt. I really can't do the work that I'm used to doing at this time. My car not only is broke down and I don't know what's going on, but now no matter doing the little trick, the key will not come out. It will not turn the car on. So he tears up the whole steering column. He tears up, he takes it, I mean, dismantle it. Not only does he dismantle the steering column, but he he goes and he takes the back seat out. When I say the amount of mental anguish I was in is unreal. So I come back in the house. He leaves. He says, he says, he calls me. He says, he says, I'm going to come back out. He said, but I really think that it's not going to be worth fixing your car. So I went from uh, it may be a sensor to now this car is totally junk. The steering column was broke because he broke a piece. It was just madness, right? So I had to call the guy that I met when I first moved here that had just started his towing company. I called him. I said, listen, um, I just need to junk this car. I just need to junk this car. So he came the next day because he is the one who towed my car to my house. He came the next day. I signed the car over to him, and it was over, right? I became so angry. I became so angry because now I'm saying, how am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to get these bills paid? God, why? And if you heard that, that is thunder, and it was just sunny. But I'm like, Lord, how am I going to pay my bills? I'm hurt. I can't, I don't have any transportation. How am I going to, grocery shop? How am I going to go if I need to go to the doctor? How am I going to do all of these things? But I can't do hardly anything anyway because I could barely walk. I could barely walk. The knot on my head had gotten so big, there's no way I was going to go out in public like that. So one day, me and my friend we were talking, and she says, I always tell you to go back to the Bible. There is a reason why this is all happening the way that it's happening. And I was like, why would God? One, I was grateful that I didn't lose my life from the fall because all I kept thinking, as hard as I hit my head, that could have, my life could have been over right there. I could have been bleeding, had a brain bleed. My head could have been open to, like, it could have been all bad. But I was able to get up, walk away. I was hurt, but I did not lose my life. So her and I were talking, and I'm like, why would God allow me to be in this situation? And she said, had you ever thought about, he didn't put you in this situation. You chose this. Your free will caused you to think and convince yourself that this was what he wanted for you. And had you thought about this wasn't from the jump? This wasn't what he wanted for you. This wasn't what he planned for you. And she was like, I really want you to pick up the Bible. I don't remember the verse that she gave me when all of this initially started happening, because I was angry. I really didn't want to hear, oh, this was your fault. When in my mind, I had done everything I was supposed to do. I was keeping up my end of the bargain. Why was I in this situation? So we're in April at this time. When I say I started feeling defeated. I started feeling defeated. And I didn't know how to deal with it. The whole while I was being defiant. I was being a know-it-all. I was literally like, okay, maybe there is just something else I need to do. But I had started feeling depressed because the world was on my shoulders in my mind. Like, I had all these bills coming in with no means to pay them. I had things that I needed to do for myself. I needed to go to the doctor. My doctor's office was 45 minutes away from my house. My specialist, my neurologist, 45 minutes away from my house, and I had no means to get in there. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, Lord, why would you do this to me? Why wouldn't you help me fix this situation? Why wouldn't you help me do this when I was doing my part? I prayed in that manner. And I tell you right now, I've been defiant one other time, and he stripped me of everything. I ended up in a shelter. I ended up isolated from everything that I've ever known. And mind you, I've always been a person who, when hard times hit, I feel, so I try to be mindful of what I say, but I'm just going to say it so that this is the true, transparent moments that I've had with God. I ended up in the shelter, stripped of everything. I was angry because here it is, I have a son. I have, my mom at that time had just been diagnosed with cancer, and I'm like, Lord, I need to be on top of everything that is going on in my life because I'm the oldest. People rely on me. I needed to be there for my son. I needed to be there for my mom. I have things to do. It was always about other people. It was always about these things that I needed to take care of, and I kept saying, I. So when this time came, I was once again feeling like, Lord, I live right. My heart is good. I really don't make silly decisions when it comes to money. I'm somewhat good with money, but I'm also free with money. Because I can't take it with me. That's my mindset. I'm going to do what I need to do with the money, but if anybody needs it, I'm okay with giving it. You know what I mean? Because I can't take it with me. It's my job to help others. So if I'm living this life of being a good person, the person that I feel that God created me to be, why am I always faced with these things? Why am I not where I want to be? Why do I have to struggle my entire life? My entire life, I feel like I've struggled. So this is me talking to God. And this is before or while I'm in this depression, which kind of caused me to go further and further into the depression. Lord, I'm depressed. Lord, I'm angry. Lord, I'm suffering. Lord, these bills are they're not stopping, right? I still have this mindset of right? So one day, my best friend and I, we were talking, and she prayed for me, right? And we were on the phone, and she was like, I really want you to just pick up the Bible. Please just pick up the Bible. And I don't remember the scripture, but I told her, I said, after all these years of deciding that I didn't need to pick up the Bible to have a relationship with God, in my mind, something had to change.